Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. In front of me we have some riding trainers from the company Rebelhorn. These are the Spike leather motorcycle trainers. We have these in a range of different styles. I think they've got quite a good variety actually when it comes to colours. They also do a waterproof version, but if I was to sum them up relatively quickly, I would say that across the board they're very breathable, very comfortable, and they come at a nice affordable price as well. The four colours we have as of the making of this video are either black, brown, olive, or a grey and black. The waterproof version only available in black. The standard versions have a price of around £160 and the waterproof version £170. Rebelhorn are still a relatively new brand to me. I know they have been around for a while, I just didn't take a lot of notice of them when I first saw them. I think that was maybe unfair. I saw them as being quite aggressively priced, but maybe lacking some of the finesse of a lot of their competitors. If I was to take the shoes in front of me here, or the other stuff I've seen from them more recently, you can check out their range on our website. I would say they are in line with their competition as far as overall quality goes, and they are still a nice affordable price. Riding trainers, generally speaking, are on the simpler side, which makes them a little bit easier to live with if you're doing short trips for commuting and that sort of thing. I actually do wear mine when I'm doing long trips. I probably should go with some taller boots, of which they have options, but I just like the comfort when it comes to trainers, and they have a decent amount of protection across them. With these, to check the CE rating on them, they have a level 1 for height, which makes sense, they are a riding trainer, level 2 for abrasion resistance and impact cut resistance, and a level 1 for transverse rigidity. I actually do appreciate breathability when it comes to my riding trainers in particular. I know it can be useful to have waterproofing, and as I mentioned, they have waterproof versions. So if you're going to get caught out, or if you're riding year round, you just know you're going to encounter rain at some point, that can be a useful thing. The reason I go with the breathable option, you have perforations on the side there for some airflow, is because waterproof membranes, as good as they are never going to be as breathable as a non-waterproof option, and you don't really anticipate how warm that could make you on the bike if you're active, or walking around off the bike. So for definitely the summer, or if I can just check the weather in advance and I know it's going to be dry, I will go with my breathable option instead of my waterproof option. And if it is going to rain, I'll plan ahead and I'll wear some taller boots, because obviously that's going to be better. It will stop the water getting over the top of there if you are doing a longer, more sustained ride. And they have options for that as well. From the outside going in, we have a nubuck cowhide leather for the majority of these, with microfiber sections. They have a breathable mesh polyester lining on the inside, which is quite well padded. And they also have TPU sections, which are more obvious on this grey version, on your toe to make it more robust in that area, because that is an area that's going to get a lot of friction as you're using it on the gear lever. So it needs to be tougher in that area. And I actually quite like the style of that. If you don't want it to be quite as eye-catching, you can go with the solid black version, or you can go with the brown version, which blends in a little bit more. And then of course you've got that on the heel as well, again to make it tougher in that area. There are a lace-up design on the front. They have a big opening on the top there and a cutout for your heel, just to make it a bit more comfortable. Because obviously they need to go above your ankle, and they do. They've got some reinforcement in there as well for your ankle. But for mobility's sake, you'll see this quite a lot on motorcycle trainers, where they have a little cutout there just to make sure that they have the height on your ankles that they need to be safe, but they have a bit more flexibility and room of movement on the back there. They've also got a big loop to pull them on in the first place, which makes them a lot easier to do that with. Red on this version, obviously red on the brown, and then black on the fully blacked out version to my right. And you'll also notice an extra section of fabric to make it a little bit more comfortable in that area as well, so it's not going to rub on your heel. They have a really nice, soft, comfortable foam insole as well, and they won't need a lot of breaking in. They actually were pretty comfortable. So if we're talking about comfort, I would say that I probably have tried more comfortable shoes. TCX spring to mind. They really are very, very comfortable. Revit also, they just use, I think, Ortholite insoles in the Revits. So those are kind of my top of the pile, if you like. But these are very comfortably in the middle. They were a nice, comfortable fit, accurate size as well, which is always important. So I definitely say they've done a good job for comfort on this occasion. And then another thing I always like to see on my trainers is a side zip entry, which never really detracts from the style. I actually think you can make it blend in quite nicely. It does make them more obvious that they're motorcycle trainers, I suppose, but so much easier to get on or off. You can just leave the laces where you need to and then just unzip that. It goes the full way down there as well. And the last thing to mention is the sole. So you've got a flat sole on this occasion. They are riding trainers. You would expect that. I prefer that as well because it makes it easier to move around on the bike. And they have quite an eye-catching cog design, which I actually really like. I think that does stand out. You have to lift your heel in order to show people your fancy sole, but nice and grippy as well. They definitely make a compelling argument to be in your shortlist for riding trainers. They are very functional, instantly comfortable, nice and affordable as well. And I think they have a really decent range of colors and styles. If you want to check these out, you can find them on our website using the links in the description, and I'll see you soon. Bye.